What's up, guys? Let me know if y'all can hear me and my sound is good. Let me know. Let me know my sound is good. What's going on, man? Look, this is a Sunday. It feels weird, right? It's a Sunday. Um, but I'm glad to be here. Good sound, Jack. Thank you, man. Jack P, what's going on, man? Hope you guys are well in Georgia, man. Dallas, Georgia. Um, Shoot, South Louisiana, man. The temperature is dropping. It done rained all off and on since yesterday evening, and it's supposed to clear up here after lunch, but then the temperature was going to drop, and so they're thinking because of the moisture on the road, and then if it dropped below 32, ice on the road, finna be a whole shutdown around here this afternoon and tonight more than likely. So good to see you guys. Who we got? Dirty Biz, glad to have you on. Brian, Ken Etheridge, Dirty Big. Good to see you guys, man. Look, got some good stuff I want to talk to you guys about. Y'all see the title. Um, and I was actually, so we end up moving my church service to yesterday because we saw the weather potential for today, and I didn't want to take a chance of not being able to get in and get out today. So we had church yesterday. So today I had a free day. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go live on Sunday morning instead of Saturday morning. And I figure I'd catch you guys before the NFL starts at 2 o'clock, right? We can chop it up. So, all right. Glad y'all in. Well, we got 12 people in. Let's hit the likes. Since we got 12 people, let's get 10 more likes to make it 12 likes, right? Let's do that. We got some people on that haven't liked yet. Share this video. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Your circle is your ceiling. Matter of fact, let me put that in the chat. This video is entitled Your Circle is Your Ceiling. That's what we're going to talk about today. All right, 13 people on. Thank you for getting the likes up. A few more likes. Thank you. Went to 8 likes. Thank you so much. Those of you who have just popped in, is up to 14 now. Go ahead and hit the like. 15. Hit the like as you come in. Let's get the algorithm crunk up. I'm finna get my coffee. I'm finna talk about it. All right, good hot coffee. Let's talk about it. Yes, Ken, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this, man. Your circle. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about this, and then after this we can do question and answer. I'm gonna tell you where I'm at, what's my outlook, what we're seeing here in Louisiana as relates to the dump truck business, because there have been some new developments. All right, so your circle is your ceiling. What that simply means is that those around you are going to be a major influence and have major impact on how high you can go. Particularly now, that's a life thing, right? But we're gonna narrow it down to dump truck business, right? The people around you are going to determine how high you go, right? And I want to talk about at least 3 different circles that we need to examine and determine, do I have the right people around me in order to be successful? Ken Etheridge, you're gonna like this. And I say that to Ken because Ken has expanded now to 3 trucks. And this is I'm starting right here with something that you'll love this, Ken. First thing is, who do you have around you as relates to the operations of your business? Who do you have around you, right? That circle there is going to go a long way between determining how high you can go. Who do you have around you as far as your operations? If you're a guy that's driving his own truck and you're on that truck 10, 12 hours a day, whatever, who do you have that's helping you with the operations of that as relates to your paperwork, your business operations? Who's running errands for you? Because you can't run errands and run the truck, right? So who do you have around you in as relates to you being able to operate this thing? I'm gonna go ahead and say this because this is a video that's coming up next week. Because what has to happen, Ken Etheridge, we have to move from owner operator thinking, Dirty Biz, to fleet thinking, right? I don't care if you got one truck. Your thinking has to not be in the sense of an owner operator, but begin to think in the sense of a fleet and even at one truck. And watch this. If you do that at the onset, you don't have to get ready. You already be ready. That's a nugget right there. All right. And so who's around you? Who are the influences and who's helping you to do what you do, right? Because if you're on the truck, there are several things you need help with. You got paperwork. I remember at one time when I first started, it was just me. I was married, but at that time, that was first marriage. My wife, that wife I had there, she really didn't. She was a registered nurse. She didn't take any interest in wanting to know or learn anything about dump truck business at that time. She had no interest at all. And so I literally was running the truck all day, and they would come home and have to do like y'all see me do now. I still do it. My little tablet, right? My little tablet that keeps everything. I would have to come home, do that, process any tickets. Sometimes you would be on a job, they want the invoice the same day. You come home, got to try to get them invoice, all that. I was doing all that, right? Didn't have no circle as relates to operations. I was by myself. And guys, that stuff was so stressful. You got to work 2-3 hours sometimes after you get home, after you don't work 8, 10 hours, 12 hours on the truck. That just gets old. So who's in your circle that's going to help you with operations, because your thinking has to go beyond owner operating and to fleet thinking, right? So who can help you with paperwork? Who can help you with your, keeping your taxes and your files in order? One thing I did have, I had a CPA. When I did start, I did have 2 people in my circle, a lawyer and a CPA. That's it. Now, they play very integral part, because I never go get the $1 million, Ken Everidge, unless I happen to talk to the lawyer, right? I have been hearing people. When I first started, it was Perry Jones Jr. Trucking. Wasn't no LLC, wasn't no incorporated. I wasn't even incorporated, y'all, until got into a conversation, saw trucks in Baton Rouge, got an LLC, and I'm like, wow, I wonder why they got that. Didn't know, and asked a couple guys. They said, "Oh yeah, man, you need that to protect yourself." From what? He said, "Well, in case you have an accident, something happens, they can sue you personally when you're not incorporated." I'm like, wow, scared me to death. Got him back home, got in town. Hey, I need to meet with you. I need to protect my business. Boom, goes to the lawyer. He became my lawyer after that, incorporated my business. And then he says, critical moment, why you got to get the right people in your circle in the operations of your business. He says, now, Perry, my suggestion is going to be you need $1 million of coverage. I say, huh? At that time, y'all, I come into business, I think, at 100,000. Now, keep in mind, this is year 2000, right? So you could get into business with $100,000 worth of coverage and work for most people back then. And I'm like, you mean I need to go up to $1 million? He said, yeah. He said, if you want to have a shot at protecting everything that you have in case something happens, get you $1 million of coverage. Right. So watch this. Here's my point. Having a lawyer in my circle allowed me to be able to secure risk management for my business, right? Got incorporated and got $1 million worth of coverage, insurance, y'all. And that was with one truck. I was one of the first guys around here to have $1 million. And guess what? That opened up the floodgates for me to work with anybody, because at that time you would run across somebody that won $1 million every now and again. All right. So that's what's up, Skybird. I see you, Mr. Fresh Kid. All right, Ground Up Enterprises. Glad you guys came in. Hit the likes as you come in. Let's get the likes up to 17, 18. All right, so your operational circle. I had a lawyer, I had a CPA, but that's all I had, right? But that kept me out of legal trouble, Ken Etheridge, and that kept me out of tax trouble, right? So I at least had that together to be able, so I wouldn't fold or have something happen crazy at the beginning, and before I can start flying good, my wings weren't clipped, right? Because of one of those two situations. So examine who's in your operational circle. Now, watch this. Just what? I started increasing these trucks. Hired my cousin as my secretary, right? Guys, that has been a blessing. She runs this office, man. When I tell you, Ken, sometimes I don't even come in here, right? And I love it, man. Sometimes I don't even come in here. Y'all saw some of the videos this week. Guess how I was able to do that? I'm out in the field checking out this new job that we just got, right? We just got a new DBE job, $2.9 million contract, 20 streets that's got to be milled and and then overlay. So it's a patch mill overlay, right? $3 million, about a 4-month job, right? Guess what? I can go out there, check that, get content, go check on the guys on the job, because every once in a while the guys need to see you on the job, right? And so, but this girl handles this office, man, paperwork. I can call her, hey, get this done. I can drivers need something, they can call her. Operational circle. She has made major impact in my business as it relates to operations, right? And so there are some things I do. I come in, definitely be in here on every weekend, and I'm gonna get my invoices together, send invoice. I'm trying to see about giving that over to her this year. Take that off my break. Now, one of the things I probably ain't gonna let go, Ken, is I'm gonna keep up with that money every day, right? I'm gonna keep up with the hours and the money and what we're making, the bottom line. I'm not turning that loose. I just feel I need to know what I'm making and what I'm doing, right? And maybe one day I might be able to just say, okay, you know what? I ain't worried about that no more. All right. So your operational circle, examine that. There you go, Mr. Fresh Kid. That's all I'm saying, right? Gregory Little wants to know, how do you hit the like, y'all? Y'all tell Gregory how to hit the like button. I need that like button. All right. So operational circle, that's the first circle, right? That's going to determine how far you can go. You cannot do it all yourself. Start thinking past own operator and start thinking like fleet. That's a whole video next week, y'all. All right. Number 2, not only your operational circle, but then you need to examine your dump truck circle, right? Because we all, if you're a dump trucker, you be around other dump truckers, right? Every day, you got to work with other guys. You're gonna connect with other guys. We've encouraged that, right? Connect with other dump truckers, network with other dump truckers, right? But even in that, Jack Peak, you got to examine your circle of the dump truckers you're fraternizing and connecting with. All dump truckers are not equal. If you know that's true by now, put a 100 in the chat. All dump truckers are not equal. Everybody ain't the same. Everybody ain't trying to help you. Everybody ain't, for the right thing. You got some crooks out there, all that good stuff, right? So who's in your dump truck circle, man? Let me give my example of what happened with me. Skybird say 100,000, 1 million, not 100, 1 million. So look, man, when I started, y'all know my story. I'm not gonna go through the whole story, but had one guy who I knew before I got in. I worked with his dad at the concrete plant. He really took me in, come side in the truck with him. He said, look, go get that yellow pages, the yellow pages of the phone book. Still had phone book back then, y'all. And go call all of the dirt pits. He told me how to do all that. I said, okay, cool. I did that. And so that's how I started out, right? But I really hadn't networked with anybody. I knew him, he had my number, and the guy from the bar straight had my number, okay. But I'm really not connecting. I don't have a circle yet. So lo and behold, going to the limestone yard, guys, and sometimes she wouldn't have nothing right off. But you could literally sit over there all day. They wouldn't bother you, sit over there all day. You never know, something will pop up. Well, in doing that for some days and weeks and stuff, when I first was getting started, began to connect with a guy. Me and him, an older fellow, had retired from the plant, got him a dump truck, just pedaling around. His livelihood wasn't predicated on the dump truck business. It's just something he doing. My livelihood was riding on this thing. And so, but he was a good guy, man. Me and him got to talking, hit it off, man, became great friends. He had a great mindset, man. He was an encourager, and above all, he had integrity. He was a good guy. And man, we started just, hey, exchange numbers, looking out for each other. I find something, hey, his CB handle was Ice Pick. I say, hey, Pick, they're looking for trucks over here, man. He'll call me, hey, Big Daddy, that was my handle. They got jobs over here, man. You ain't got nothing, come on over here. We will begin to look out for each other, right? And then when I started my thing, figured that game out, and by year 3 and started to contract jobs, I knew one thing: I could call on him. I had networked with another guy who was a good guy. He had some ways with him, but he wasn't. This older fellow was my cheerleader, y'all. He was the guy I would call even years later when we wasn't working together anymore, and he had retired. I would call him, pick. Let me pump your brain a little bit. I've got 2 trucks and I'm thinking about getting 3. What do you think? He was that kind of guy. Your circle determines your ceiling because of the wisdom. Here's what he gave me, Ken. Wisdom. You got to remember, in the year 2000, when I started, guys, I was 27 years old, young. This man was an older man, and I was able to get wisdom from him, man. He helped me so much. Had actually been in the road truck business one time, hauling liquid, so he had a lot of knowledge. Your circle determines your ceiling. So he had trucking expertise. He was an older guy with wisdom, and he was a guy of integrity that wouldn't hurt you. If anything, he's going to help you. That, guys, you just don't know what that done for me as a young whippersnapper at 27 years old. So your circle, and I began to filter everything against this kind of guy and other guys. I don't want to be around him. Oh, this guy's a crook. This guy's a backstabber. This guy will try to come behind you on your jobs. You don't want to fool with that kind of guy. So examine that circle and determine who's who, because that circle there, that dump truck circle, and you're going to have to make a decision because, you do need the network. Skybird, you do need the network. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, all dump truckers are not equal. And let me tell you something that happened to me. And if you got any idea about growing a dump truck business, Ken, tell me, have you experienced this yet? When you got one truck, the dump truck circle, you all the same, ain't nobody tripping. But the moment you got enough unmitigated gall, enough unction about yourself to want to go and get another truck, to want to go and get 3 trucks, they start looking at you different. If that's happened to you, put the 100 in the chat. If that's happened to you, guys, when I got that second truck, when I would come on the limestone yard or in the dirt pit or on the job, they didn't look at me the same. It was like I started getting eyes of disgust, eyes of haterism, eyes of who he think he is. It changes. That's why this circle is so important, because all dump truckers are not equal. You got to be able to have some, what we call in the religious arena, discernment, to be able to discern who's for you, who wants to use you, who just hanging around trying to see what you got getting, or, who's genuinely for you and want to see you make it, man. When you go beyond one truck, they start looking at you different. Right. All right. 25 people on. Hit the likes. Get me up to 22 likes. Let's catch those likes up. If you want to hit the like, but don't know how, I'll close out the chat, hit the like, and then come back in. There you go. All right. So, man, look, what is that dump truck circle? You got to examine that dump truck circle. Some of them guys will be laughing, talking to your face, and then turn right back around in another dump truck circle and group with other guys talking about you. I've had that happen to me too. Right. So get connected. Yes. Network, yes, but make sure you do it with guys that are for the right thing, that are going to be an encouragers to you and pour into you as you pour into him. It needs to be reciprocation there, right? You don't want it to be one-sided. That old man poured into me. That's what I needed. Wisdom. I need knowledge. I needed understanding. I poured into him work and helping him to he worked with me on the jobs that I was getting. So it was a trade-off there. We both were adding to each other. And guys, that helped my ceiling. I'm telling you, because that old man would tell me, Big Daddy, you're a young man. That's how he used to talk. Big Daddy, you're a young man. I done been there, man. I ain't trying to do all that. This old one truck gonna do me, man. But man, you a young man. You need to get out there, get that work, man. Grow your business and get many trucks you want. He used to tell me that. He said, man, the way that you work, you can do it, man. That's the kind of people you need in your circle. Just got the kind of people you need in your circle. All right. We coming, Miguel. We coming. Be patient with me, because I got to give us another circle. All right. So, and this is the third and the last circle. So we got the operational circle. Who's helping you to operate your business? Then you got your dump truck circle, the guys that you want to net with, other dump truckers. That is a means of finding work, right? Other dump truckers, but begin to examine that circle, um, to make sure that they're the right kind of guys that you want to hang around and be around and connect with. All right, the third circle that you need to examine is your contractor circle. Oh, I love this. Hit the likes, y'all. Hit the likes. This is going to be good. Miguel, hold your question. I'm coming. We're going to have a question and answer session after I give us this last circle. And everything I'm telling you guys is experience, right? I've been through all this, right? So the contractor circle. In other words, the contractors that you're with, and then I'm gonna use this word too for the sake of this, the brokers, perhaps, because for some of us, this might be the broker. You need to also examine that circle. Why? Several reasons. The first question I want to know, and I'm dealing with a contractor, especially if I'm looking for a long-range relationship, are they trying to grow, and are they willing to let me grow along with them? Talk, Joe. What do you mean, Joe? Are they growing, and do they want me to grow along with them? Here's why that's an important question. There are some contractors, because they still consist of people, right? It's another entity that you deal with, but it still consists of people. And some of these contractors, all of them are not equal. I have been involved with some companies whereby they don't want to grow. They ain't trying. They just peddling around. They ain't trying to do nothing major. They ain't trying to do nothing major. They don't even bid on big jobs, right? You got to examine that. You got to know that, hey, I might work with them, but they may not get priority because they ain't trying to do much. I ain't going to get but a day out of them anyway. They ain't going to give me but a day of work, and that's all they doing. Examine that circle. Number two, some contractors, in asking that question, do they want to grow and do they want to see you grow with them? They could want to grow. They're trying to maximize their profits. They're getting the work. But do they also want to see you come along with them and progress and prosper as well? What do I mean? Matter of fact, y'all go holler right here. There are some contractors, they want to make money, but they want to hold your money down. Talk Jones! Oh, dude, look, if you've experienced that, put Talk Jones in the chat right there. If you've experienced that, they want to make money, and they are making money. You're looking at them make money, but yet they want to trying to hold your money down. You know, and there are several ways to hold your money down, right? They hold your money down by the rate, i.e., you ain't had a raise in 4 or 5 years, or they hold your money down by limiting your hours. Limiting your hours. Ladies and gentlemen, if this broad open sunshine and that heavenly light bulb is shining in the sky and it's 95 freaking degrees, why are we just working 8 hours instead of 10? Why are we working 10 instead of 12 and it don't get dark to 8 o'clock? Because for many of them, they're trying to contain, they're trying to hold you to that 8-9 hour thing. So they're trying to limit your money. And don't get me wrong, I understand fiscal responsibility, a budget, and trying to control your cost. Hey, I get it. I get it. But at the same time, you, Skybird, you want me to run hard. You want me to get 6 loads of asphalt in 8 hours. Ain't happening, Captain. Ain't happening. Can't come out like that. No, I ain't doing that. I'm not running hard. I'm not going to run my guards hard to get 6 loads of asphalt in 8 hours. Can't make it like that, right? Guys, you put 6 loads of asphalt down, you need to at least be able to get 10 hours, right? That's $1,000 a load of asphalt. That's $6,000 you've hauled for them. And I can't make 1,000. I can't make 900, 950 for real. So be aware that you connect in the contractor circle with a contractor that also wants you to tag along and be able to make money too, right? Because some of them want to make the money, but they don't want you to make no money, or they want to keep your money at a certain amount. All right, now watch this. Examine the circle of the contractor that's making money. Don't mind you making money, Ken Etheridge, until you go get truck number 2, you go get truck number 3, you go get truck number 4, you go get truck number 5, and on and on and on. Because some contractors, remember, they still consist of being ran by people. Watch this, y'all gonna holler. And watch this. If that project manager, that superintendent is the kind of person that's evil, rotten, no good, bitter, resentful, racist, whatever their ism is, because people have isms, y'all, and they see you. They're at the company, they're making $60,000, $75,000 a year. You started with them, and now you on truck number 2, and he knows how much money they paying you. And then he got a problem. He's got an inner thing that's bothering him, like, oh, we're paying him too much. This joker done went and got truck number 2. Oh, wow, he done went and got truck number 3. Some of them guys have problems with that, Ken Etheridge. You got to be careful. All contractors are not equal. And so you want to hitch your wagon to the contractor that ain't got no problem with you making money too. Tom Jones! Your circle determines your ceiling. You want to connect. Let's get to 25 likes, guys. 25 likes. You want to connect to contractors that are making money, that are trying to grow, and ain't got no problem with you prospering and growing right along with them. Examine that circle. All contractors are not equal. Watch this. All brokers are not equal. Some brokers want to keep you at a certain amount of money under their thumb, keep you right there. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to go nowhere. Who was that? I was talking to somebody, was telling me one of the brokers got mad because they broke off and tried to get some work themselves. And when they try to come back, they mad with them and won't work them. You know, let me ask you this. If a dump trucker, a contractor, or broker is mad with you for trying to grow your company, they ain't no good no way. Tom Jones! They ain't no good no way. Because if a person got a problem with you trying to grow, I don't need to be connected with you anyway. I don't need to be in your circle anyway. You go to the bottom of the list. I ain't gonna burn the bridge, but you definitely gonna be the last alternative on my list. And my prayer in those situations, guys, is, Lord, keep me with enough work to where I don't have to go work with that joker. And man, look, remember I told y'all last year the situation about the company I worked for, and I hadn't worked for them in a while. I tried to hook back up with them. They want me, they buddy, they want me to go through their partner to work. And I said, I ain't doing it. And like, guys, it's been almost 2 years. I ain't done it. And my prayer was that God grant me the wherewithal and the favor to have the work to where I don't have to go back in no situation like that, where somebody wants to demean me, disparage me, and disrespect me in such a way for me to have to do something like that. And he's done that. All right. All right. So let's what do we got? All right. Hit the likes. Let's get to 25 likes, and we're gonna get ready to take some questions and comments on this Sunday morning. All right. So those of you just joining, definitely go back and get that. Go back and get that. The 3 circles that will determine your ceiling in the dump truck business. So y'all might have to go back and watch it. Share this video. Hit the likes. Okay. All right. Out of sight, out of mind. I appreciate you, man. Chat GPT is a beast, boy. That's all I can tell you. Saved my life, man. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that y'all like the thumbnails. All right. Let's go back up and let's see who has questions. If you got questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Let's see. All right. Oh, good. All right. Your circle is your ceiling. All right. All right. All right. Fresh Kid say he needs to find an assistant for that operational circle. Okay. All right. Dirty Biz gave us the key. If you want to hit the like button, you got to close the chat, hit the like, and then come back in. That's how you hit the like button. Thank you, Dirty Biz, for that. All right, Ground Up Enterprises says, would you bid on jobs outside your initial service area for newer established owner operators, specifically material and hauling jobs? Yes, sir, I would, because just getting started, you need to get a toehold pretty much any way you can. And watch this, guy. Here's a nugget for y'all. Here's a nugget. Thank you, Ground Up, because you made me think about this just then. Sometimes you have to go out just to come back. Talk, Joe. Sometimes, Kid Etheridge, you got to go out in order to come back. It happened to me. Looked like I could not get a toehold on nothing in Baton Rouge, man, for months and Sundays when I started. But I ran across a guy. And never forget, thank God for Russell Gershow out of White Castle, Louisiana, which is basically from here in Clinton. Man, White Castle, Baton Rouge from me is about 35 minutes. White Castle is about another 25 minutes. So about an hour and 10, hour and 15-minute drive from here. Ladies and gentlemen, some kind of way I hooked up with that guy, and that guy had a connection with the limestone yard down there. He was doing job on his own. His operation was a small operation, but he would actually get barges. He'd get big enough job. He would actually have barges and stuff. And that guy was working me. You hear me? Working me. It bothered me to pass through Baton Rouge to go way down here in order to work for him, but he kept me working. He paid me every week, right? So Ground Up, I had to go out in order to come back. And guess what? On some of those days, I was working. And some people in Baton Rouge, what? So sometimes, yes, go and get and establish yourself. And in establishing yourself as a new dump truck business, dirty business, get this. Sometimes you may have to go to the next town or the next city and then be able to come back. Because guess what's going to happen? Guess what happens, man, when you're doing that? You're making connections. That trip to and fro, for that period of time that you're on that job, you're making connections. You're seeing jobs getting ready to start. You're seeing track holes and dozers on jobs, and you stop handing out cards. I was doing all of that, right? So that builds up your portfolio, man. Yes, by all means, do that. All right. All right. Jason says he's going to pick up his truck next week. Jason, tell us in the chat what kind of truck you're going to pick up, and is it new, is it used, what year model, all that good stuff. All right, Miguel. Just starting now, looking to buy my first. Tips, advice. All right, make sure you get the right truck, and make sure you're lined up with where you're going to work. Certainly, this channel has a bunch of resources, but you also allow me to segue into my resources on my website. I'm missing one in this group, but Miguel, how to get started. Making sure you get the right truck. How to bid on dump truck work. And then how to grow that thing. How to scale that thing up into multiple trucks. All right. That's on the website, iamcountryceo.com. All right. I'm going to put it in the chat for you. Go check the website out. Anybody need resources? The channel is an excellent resource. But also, if you're a reader, you don't mind reading, you can get it that way. Go to the website. You can get all 5 books for a special price. Got videos on that too. All right, let me move on. Do your research, though, Miguel. That's the key. Do your research. Kid said the hate is real. We going to have to talk, kid, about that. Dirty said they just going to have to hate me. That's right. That's what I said. Came in 2025 in June, had a real OG on my team. Now I got 2. What? Fresh kid. You came in June with 1 and you got number 2 already. Tell me how that happened. How that worked. What I tell you what, how you can help us, especially some of the guys on the channel. What happened particularly that allowed you to make the decision to go ahead with number 2 so quickly? Help us with that. That's going to help somebody on this channel. All right, let me stroll down. All right. Kenneth, as a bonus, I'd add having a banker in your circle as well. Yes, this would give you access to money to make moves when you need. Yes, sir. Build up that local relationship, or with a chain bank, but just build that banking relationship. Excellent, Ken. Thank you for that. That is so true. That is so true. All right. Out of sight. Dirty Beer said, don't let their isms expose your isms. What's up, Will? I see you made it in. All right, Skybird. What about that I-285 big huge job in Atlanta? Have they started that yet? That thing so big coming up in Atlanta. I was like, oh wow, make me want to see, can I come out there and get some of that work with ER Snell and CW Matthews? It's not a problem I face yet that you don't have a video for anyone that's all right. That's awesome. Appreciate y'all decide for that, man. Miguel, I have two semis, but I'm looking to stay local, switching over to the dump truck business. All right, Miguel, what town you in? What city in town are you in? Morning time, country hustle. What city in town are you in, Miguel? Hit the like, man. We got 41 of y'all on now. Let's get to 30 likes. If you want to hit the like, close out the chat, hit the like, and then come back in, man. Get them likes up for your boy. All right. And then again, there's resources at IamCountryCEO.com with the books. You can get those books. That'll cover the whole shebang. All right. Artigas, what's going on? Any advice for someone starting out with a single axle, 33,000 pound gross vehicle weight truck? I'm planning on getting a try in a year or so. You got a single axle. I would definitely major in the residential. I would connect with the landscaping companies. I will connect with your nurseries because a lot of residential people, that's where they go, excuse me, when they want those little small loads of stuff, and they'll go there, and it might be they don't want but 6 yards of limestone or mulch or something like that. Well, most nurseries, at least here, they don't have trucks, and so they have to get people to haul that stuff, right? And so I will connect with your nurseries, I will connect with your landscaping companies, and I will connect with builders. Because a lot of time single axles can haul dirt to those house pads, small house pads. When they want to put topsoil and clay after the house is built, a lot of time they're rather the single axle because that weight is not going to tear the ground up. You can cross the sidewalk. The weight on a single axle is not going to tear that sidewalk up. Those kinds of things. I hope that helps. New Haven, Connecticut. All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Connecticut. I don't know if we've had anybody from Connecticut in a while. New Jersey probably be the closest. All right. Welcome from Connecticut. Oh, okay. Dirty say you used to live in Church Streets. Oh, okay. That's a connection. It hasn't started, but it is on schedule for 2026. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, Skybird. I was wondering about that, man. That thing, man, that just blew my mind when I saw the magnitude of that job, man. That thing will be going on about 10 years. It be about to be 10 years before they finish the totality of that 285 deal, man. I can only imagine that there have been companies that have moved to Atlanta just to do that job. I got to believe that. Something like that would send me right on to retirement. All right, man. Y'all boy done grew up in the. Okay, so y'all got to help me. What is Church Street South? Is that a city? Is that an area? Shoot, y'all met around that might know each other. What's up, V man? Checking in from Raleigh, Durham. In the dump truck rollback industry, thinking about the dump truck industry also. V man, got several homies out there, man, that I love to death. These guys are some champs, man, when it comes to the dump truck business out there in Raleigh, Durham, Big Prime, the General, and Buddy Fab, man. Buddy Fab and Big Prime, the General, two major dump truckers out there, man, in the dump truck business. Check them out. Look them up on Instagram, man. Big Prime, the General, and Buddy Fab on Instagram. Great guys. I personally met Buddy Fab at an event year for last, and I told Prime we got to get down to Raleigh. I got to get to Raleigh, Durham, man. Y'all got it going on out there with that work. Oh, okay. So Church Street South. Okay, that was an apartment complex, a neighborhood that tore down a few years ago. Okay, all right, cool. Ain't that small world, man? Who you don't never know. What's up, Jay? I'm starting to work other trucks on my jobs. Awesome. Is it better to set the hourly rate or take a percentage? Me personally, I just set the hourly rate. I normally just get $5. I make sure that they're going to get paid good, and I normally will make anywhere. I just set the hourly rate to where I can make $5 or $10. I found that always to be easier. you know. Obviously, it could potentially be more if you do 25%. What I don't know what your percentage would be, but I've always just played it safe and do $5 or $10. But that is awesome, Jay, that you've grown to the point that you're actually starting to do that. That's next level right there. How many trucks you got on your own, Jay? That's next level right there. I like that. Appreciate your articles. All right, C. Timler, what's good? You're in Ruston, man, brother. I will be in Ruston Monday, February 1st to Tuesday, February the 2nd. For the Louisiana Missionary Baptist State Convention board meeting at the church of one called Maurice White. And I think we're going to be at the Hampton. They're going to be at the Hampton. So small world, brother. I'll be in Ruston for one day and be right back. All right, Miguel says, how would we find out? I'm lost, Miguel. How would you find out what? Tell me what you're talking about. Oh, how will we find out who's going to be giving out the work on big new projects? Your state website, brother. Look up the DOT website in your state. Go to the bidding. I'm gonna put it in this. I'm gonna put it right here for you, Miguel. Bidding and letting section, and you can find out the big major jobs coming up in your area, in your particular county, and all that good stuff. Kenyatta Peppers retracted the message. All right. Sassy the truck boss, Skybird. Okay. Yeah, she was well, she's in Houston now. Sassy texted me last week. Sassy's no longer in Charlotte. She's in Houston now, contracting. Yep, she did checking in last week. See how we were doing on this end. They're doing well on that end as well. Of course, everybody's a little slow. Round up a lot of work in the Raleigh-Durham. Yes, that's what I've heard, man. Raleigh-Durham has it going on just like Charlotte. Will says he's down there in Aberdeen. All right, how far is Aberdeen from Raleigh-Durham? All right, Gregory, would you broker jobs and material plus haul that you don't plan to put your own trucks on? Yes, Lord, sure will. There's nothing wrong with making money off a job and your trucks never touched a job. Nothing at all. Think about it, Gregory. That's what a broker do. A lot of these brokers, they ain't got no trucks. They just got to work. They make a little money off the top of it. The sports comma with Big Q, who that country? Oh, man, listen at this man. Talking about some doggone who that. Where my cowboy helmet at? Y'all. I ain't got nothing close to me I can show you. Oh, well. See, that kind of stuff breaks my concentration when you go to talk that kind of stuff. All right. We'd like to meet you if possible. See Tendo, get some good game. For sure, man. I'm going to I do have a couple of meetings, but I will be in Ruston that evening. We're going to probably leave here about 10, 11. It takes us about 3.5 hours to get up there. So we'll probably be in Ruston maybe around 3, something like that. So hit me up on the ground, the country CEO on the ground, man. See can we might can make that happen. All right, are you attending MT? I want to, Dirty Biz. I want to. I hadn't made the reservations yet. I'm kind of looking at it because I do have some stuff. I got a procedure I got on the go. So I'm kind of looking at Dirty Biz. Do you have the dates? Give me those dates because that's what I hadn't had a chance to look it up to try to see if I'm gonna be able to go. All right. So any particular questions before we get ready to land the plane here? All right. And for those of you who hadn't tuned in last time, y'all see I got I'm finna get ready to do safety meeting here probably Tuesday morning because everything is canceled tomorrow. So I got this up here for my safety meeting. It's going to stay up there all year. It's kind of the generality of what I want my guys to get this year. We want to elevate the standard of what we did this last year. Safety. I want them to be conscious and then situational awareness, guys. Situational awareness. One thing about it, People try to in some ways, Ken Etheridge, demean being a dump truck. Oh, it don't take nothing. Well, how smart you got to be to drive a dump truck? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Because you are faced with, if you're in trucking, period, you're going to be faced with different situations and circumstances, and it requires critical thinking to make good decisions. Y'all see these videos on social media all the time. Joe gonna lift the bed up, get towed down by the interstate. Joe was tearing down power line. Joe was cutting too short and dropped the truck off in a hole. Joe was turning trucks over. Guess what a lot of that is, y'all? The lack of critical thinking skills in certain situations. You got to know what you can and can't do with the type of truck that you're driving. Chalk Jones. So situational awareness. I want to talk to my guys about situational awareness, being able to get them to understand that depending on the situation that you're in determines how you need to respond, right? So safety, communication, teamwork is a must. We got to be able to communicate with each other pre and post trip. Check your truck daily. Reiterating that's gonna always be reiterated there. And then because what happens is, guys, when guys have been working, when you've been working, it happens to all of us. When you've been working a while and guys have been working a while, they get comfortable. Comfortable is the enemy of greatness. All right. And comfortable is also the enemy of staying sharp in these dump trucks, right? All right. I have some family members who want to drive dump trucks. They have CDLs, but have difficulty getting into the dump truck game. Do you have a certified lane they can use? Do you have a certified lane they can use? I'm not understanding the sports coma. Tell me what you mean by that, by a certified lane. Give me a little more. See, Dirty Beers, I ain't gonna make it. I got a procedure on the doggone 27th, man. The 27th, brother. I won't be able to make it this year. So I'm gonna miss Mid-America. But they do have the Houston one. They do have one in Dallas. They'd already had the World of Concrete in Las Vegas. And I think it may be one coming up in Florida or something. But it's a couple more. Then they got one on the Gulf Coast here, right down real close to me on the Gulf Coast. I might catch that one this year. I don't know. Okay, Jay got 3 of his own and working 3 others. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. That's next level there, brother. Godspeed on that. And that's how I would handle that. Is adding an MC a good thing to be able to expand in the dump truck business? I was going to lease my other company that I have an active MC. Miguel, what does your state require? See, here in South Louisiana or in Louisiana, they don't require us to have a DOT number. Now, I got one because I had to end up going across the line to Mississippi and do some work. But does Connecticut require a DOT number? And if they don't, you may not even need the motor carrier number. So check that out. That's where you got to do some research. Out of sight, which dash cam and GPS do you use for your truck CO? Shucks. The insurance company sent me the dash cams. What are those things? It's so many brands out of sight. I can't think right now what's that brand. But I'll tell you what. Y'all remember I told you about my insurance situation. I had to go with Progressive for a week, and I'll tell y'all some game on that too. Had to go for Progressive to Progressive for a week, right? And then I dropped them because I found some way cheap insurance. Guess what Progressive did? Let me show you. It's funny you should ask that question out of sight. Progressive sent me some cameras, and I'm just knowing they're gonna want them back. Yep, got 6 of them over there. So I'm thinking this happened and they weren't able to rescind it. So I'm just waiting for somebody to call me and say, hey, we sent you, but you're not a customer. We want our cameras back. I don't even see what the name of that one is. And GPS, the only I was trying to get set up with this GPS from Truckit IT. I hadn't followed through with that, man, to set all that up, but that's who I was trying. Truckit IT out of Atlanta, who I was trying to use for GPS. Will, I can't believe trucker out there driving on ice roads after that lawsuit in Texas. Man, look, it's going to always be some of us that's going to give it a try, man. You already know. Sports going to a surefire way to get into the dump truck. But, well, number one thing, and I will continue to say it, is research. That's number one. And I'm always say that because you guys just have no idea how many people come out here blind, ain't done no research on them, went bought a truck. So research is number one. Research and resources, right? Number two, um, making the contacts before you even get into business. Go talk to these contractors. You know, um, somebody always knows somebody that knows somebody that works for the state and maybe doing something or works for the DOT in your local area, that kind of stuff. Start making the contacts at the city level, the county level for us parishes in Louisiana, and at the state level, and ascertain how is your state doing in work. See, for Louisiana, I'll be done retired from this and they still won't be done caught up. We $1 billion in a backlog on roads, worst roads in the nation. So because I know that from research, I will retire and roads will still be a problem here in South Louisiana, right? So talk to people, dump truckers, contractors and stuff about what's the outlook, Chamber of Commerce, what's the outlook, economic development in your area, what's the outlook for construction business in your area for the next 5, 10, 15 years. That's where I would start. Only DOT for in-state. Yes. All right. Oh, not only DOT for in-state, but your county, Miguel, your county website. Same thing. Look for bidding and letting. Then also your city website. I don't know if you stay in a big city, they typically do their stuff separate. Okay, yeah. You're gonna need the MC then. If you're trying to bid on jobs in other states, you will need the MC for sure. Ken say he uses Motive Tracker and Dash Cam. They work very well. All right, Ken. I'm assuming, Ken, that's a GPS and cam combination all in one. Is that what that is? Because if that's the case, I might come out better and look into that instead of this other stuff, this different GPS. I can just get the camera GPS combination. And did you have to buy them yourself, Ken, or did the insurance do that? Verizon has a good GPS plan. Okay. That might be why Gregory Little. That might be why they keep talking to me about wanting to talk about business proposals. Gordon Reed, you made it on. Yeah, you real late to the party. We almost about to end this party. Oh man, Gordon, talk to me. Gordon say out doing snowplow work. Oh man, I love to hear that. Appreciate you, Miguel. Will say MC numbers going away. Is that the new director? Because I ain't even listening at it worth nothing, Will. Is that what they were talking about this new system and thing they're talking about? You ain't gonna need the motor carrier number no more? Yeah, sports. I figured, look, you who that, man. Yeah, I know you had to be out of New Orleans. But let me give you this nugget, man. Barrier Construction, right there in Boutique. Let me give you another nugget. Bow Brothers Construction from down in New Orleans. If you could get in with them too, you're gonna be good. Well, shoot, Ken, that might be what I just showed you. Progressive send me. This is what Progressive send me, but I'm figuring they're gonna ask for them back because I'm no longer with them. This is the Progressive thing here. It just doesn't say what it is. And I don't want to repack, so that's why I'm not open. But here's what it does say. It does say Snapshot Pro View. So all right. What's up, Wayne? Good afternoon to everyone. Snowing here in Virginia, so it's not a good afternoon. Oh, wow. Yeah. We knew it was coming, though. We knew it was coming, Wayne. All right, go ahead and been put the last days, and looks like 2 or 3 more to go. Gotta eat for snow. Gotta eat for sure. Do that snow work, man. I will watch the replay, of course. Oh, yes, for sure. All right. Any final questions, guys? I'm gonna land the plane. It's been wonderful this morning. I'm glad I was able to change it to today, man. We finna get in here and finish making the rest of the content that I got for y'all next week, so we can rock and roll. It's gonna be sweet. We're still talking about where the money at, um, how to tap it, but then it's gonna transition midweek into tapping into the money. Y'all definitely want to set them notifications this week. It gets even look. My grandmother used to say it gets gooder, right? It's getting gooder. All right. Yeah, you definitely want to replay it, Gordon, because we talk about your circle is your ceiling. There are 3 circles that you need to examine that will determine how high you can go. They go throw the who that on that. Man, what is you that? Look, how about them Cowboys? We on the couch now, but how about them Cowboys? Okay, who we got today, y'all? Let me see. I am pulling for them Rams. I'm pulling for the Rams. And I'm pulling for. I like Sean Payton, man. I did like Sean Payton when he was with the Saints. I'm pulling for the. I mean, I'm about to say the Saints. I'm pulling for Denver because I don't like New England. So I'm pulling for Denver, and I'm pulling for the Rams. I think it's going to be a Denver Rams Super Bowl. I can live with Seattle if they do beat the Rams. All right, but that's what I think. Oh God, I knew it's going to be at least one with the Patriots. I knew it was going to be at least one. All right, but look, guys, hang in there. My goal has always been, man, Ken, we just got to get out of January. That's all. We can get out of January, we gonna be good. Because this is what happens, right? We're running last January 22nd last year, we got 6 inches of snow. And so now here we go with a doggone snow, severe weather thing right here, same around the same week, the 3rd week of January. So I'm just like, Lord, just able us to get out of January. And we know we're gonna be all right. The work is right there waiting. Only difference is we actually got some milling going on right now that enable us to keep some things going. Side note, my nephew just transferred from OSU to LSU, Fahim Delane. Oh wow, that's awesome. Is he in relation to the other guy, Delane, that ended up being a good corner for us this year? That's gonna be first round pick. Is he in a relation to him? All right, you too, Miguel. I'm gonna let Dirty Biz answer that. Cause there, yeah, I seen that the Delane kid. Yes, sir, little brother. Oh my God, that other cat is he first round pick. That boy was tough this year. Transferred out of Virginia Tech, I believe it was. So that awesome, man. I keep a lookout for him Delane. All right. And we got one kid. I tell you this, Dirty Bit. We got one kid that's from up in my area that everybody knows as well. Number 14, Trey Green, the tight end. And we were thinking, he keeps going like he's going, man. He's gonna be a first round pick too. Went to school right at the local high school up here, man. So y'all be good. Ken says our January has been slow but better than last year. So I'm not exactly, Ken. That's why I say I'm not complaining, man. It's been a better January than last year. So all right, guys. Y'all be good. Take it easy. Keep on trucking. And we'll be talking to you soon. Sooner than y'all think. Y'all be good.